Okay, guys. I know you're very mature and you had me before, so you're always last. I'm sorry. I finally got to your review for the midterm. I'm pretty sure my screen is not recorded. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter. Just listen carefully. No need to even see the screen. Just gonna tell you the topics that you must review and what to do for the midterm. The questions are not difficult, but it will help you if you prepare formula or problems from quizzes that might confuse you. Okay, so the first thing that mostly concerns me is to find the total resistance for resistors in parallel or in series. I posted a lot of resources, a lot of links, so if you go over that, you should be fine. So when you have resistors in series, that means that they're one after another like soldiers, okay? Basically kind of like in a row. So then you just add their values. Let's say one resistor is 20, the other one is 30, and the last one is 50. So all you have to do to find the total resistance is just add those. 30 plus 20 plus 50, that's going to be 100. Now notice that the problem, read the questions carefully. It might say you have 3 resistors, each 30 and 110 ohms that are connected in series. So then you have 3 times 30, 90 plus the 10, again 100 total. So the series are easy. When you have resistors in parallel, which means that their endpoints are the same, then you will have to add the reciprocals. The reciprocals. So it's going to be 1 over the first resistor plus 1 over the next one plus 1 the third, and depends how many you have. And now unfortunately you have to work with fractions, but after you find the total resistance here, you're basically finding the reciprocal. So at the end you have to flip the number, something students forget all the time. So if you have several resistors in parallel, you have to add the reciprocals, and when you find the answer, flip the number, which means find the reciprocal again to find the total resistance. Okay, so for example, you have 2 resistors that are 40 ohms, let's say, in parallel. So you'll have to add 1 over 40 plus 1 over 40. So that will make it 2 over 40, which is 1 over 20 when you simplify. So now you have to flip that number to find the total. So it's going to be 20 ohms. So you have 2 resistors in parallel, each one 40. The total one becomes 20. So be careful again on those problems. Review the links that I gave you, review the resources. You should be fine. Okay, the absolute must is Ohm's law. I hope it's somewhere there in the, I think it's week 4. You will find it, Ohm's law, which says that voltage or potential difference equals current times resistance. It's a pretty simple one, but it's extremely important. So from that equation, you can solve for the voltage, you can solve for the current, you can solve for the resistance, depending on the problem, what it asks. Know the different formula for electric power. Now, if you have the voltage and the current, you're good, but you might have the current and the resistance, or might have the voltage and the resistance. So there are several different ways that you can find power. Have all those formula ready so you can find electric power. Wave equation. That's the one that it's relating frequency, wavelength, and speed of a wave. You had labs, I think, on that one, so have that equation again handy so you can solve for whatever you are asked. Now, know also the relationship between current and charge. So that is different than the Ohm's law. Current and charge again. Get ready the formula for period of a pendulum and a period of a mass on a spring. That is what we started the class with. Those formula with the square roots there. Have them handy so you can answer questions regarding this formula. Coulomb's law. This is basically for charges. The force between two charges. The charges could be positive, negative, to negative. Notice that when you are calculating this force, you do not put the signs of the charges there. You have to decide in which direction the force is going to be acting beforehand. Do not put the charges with the negative there, or you might get in trouble. Doppler effect. I'm pretty sure you need help with this one, but nobody said anything, so I didn't. This is basically the actual frequency and the perceived frequency that you hear when something is approaching or going away from it. So if you hear higher frequency, this has nothing to do with amplitude or um, force or stuff like that. Is just higher frequency when something's approaching you and lower frequency when it's going away from you. I hope you understand that concept and you can solve problems with Doppler effect. If not, please let me know. Resonance. What is resonance? Everything has its own resonance. So if something outside of it starts vibrating in the same frequency, then you get resonance. So know conceptually what that means. Then you have electric fields, electric lines, and charges, dipoles. So pay attention of how the charges, when you have a single charge, for example, how the lines are distributed, and when you have two charges, how those lines change. Read the rules for the lines from the PowerPoint. So you're able to solve a situation with that. Uh, the formula for electric fields you will need, and there's two ways that you can find that from Coulomb's law. You can find the electric field. The concept of the electric field in physics, it's very, not electric, just in general, any field. This is one of the most complex concept, let's say, in physics, the field theory. And if you notice here, to find the field lines and the forces in general, you will have to imagine a small positive charge and see how it's going to interact with yours, positive or negative, to be able to draw those lines and those forces. I hope you're getting this concept as well. I mean, you have different resources there. Use also the questions from the quizzes. They might also help you. Well, I hope this helps. I will read again the topics just in case my screen doesn't show, which I'm pretty sure lately it doesn't show. I have to find another way to record because the built-in function sometimes doesn't work. Okay, so now how to find total resistance when you have resistors in parallel and in series. Know Ohm's law, which is potential difference equals current times resistance. Know the different formula for electric power, there are three of them. Know the wave function, which relates speed, frequency, and wavelength. Know the relationship between current and charge. Find the formula, have them handy for period of a pendulum and period of a mass on a spring, horizontal or vertical. Coulomb's law, which is the interaction between charges, electric charges. Understand at least conceptually Doppler effect. Know the definition of resonance, and conceptually and with the formula, electric fields, electric lines, and the combination of different charges, positive, negative, and so on. This is it for now. I hope it helps.